We were just singing "Born in the USA" before we came live with you here. That is fantastic. Welcome to our Father's Kitchen. We are back here today with Jordan and a special guest. We've got a special guest with us today, our new parochial vicar. Let's introduce Father Patrick for those of you who don't know you.
Love it. Love it.
So we're going to introduce Father Patrick just a little later.
Sure.
We'll give him some opportunity to talk about his life and how he ended up back here in Scioto County.
Absolutely.
But we got quite a store of food today.
It's true. It's true. So when we talk, with Father Patrick a little bit more later, please type in your questions throughout, so that way we can keep track. And Megan really likes my little hand signals here,
Because she's on a keyboard, on a piano all day long.
You guys can tell what my job is, right? Anyway, so.
Thank God it's not surgery. You can send your questions all day long. Solve off that iron.
So that way, Father
Born in
Patrick,
the USA, right? Exactly.
So yes, but we do have quite a spread today. The theme today is Italian, and so a little bit of a backstory here. So when we were discussing this week's theme, I put my foot down because I was like, listen, it's going to be 94 degrees. I'm not turning on that stove.
That was Jordan. She said, talk to the hand. No way, Jose.
So this is our way of still doing it up Italian, I guess, and not turning on.
Right, so it's kind of an antipasta light dessert afternoon.
Yes.
But we have 6 different Italian wines to try, so that means it's going to be a very nappy afternoon. Nappy. Can I use that word, nappy? Nappy afternoon. It's a nappy afternoon.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Oh my goodness. So, to start off with, we have a caprese salad. Can you all see that down there? I'm going to go get it.
Jordan's going to travel and go get the caprese salad.
We're good? Oh,
yeah,
great.
we got the big lens on here today, so everybody can be seen. We won't block Father Patrick over here.
Right. And so
I'll make sure I'm seen.
I love it. I'll make sure I'm seen.
Exactly.
I love it. So, caprese salad, for anybody who's not familiar, is essentially tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, basil, and balsamic and oil. Salt, pepper, voila. Super easy salad. But here's the thing.
We used some special ingredients today.
We did.
Special.
Because not only are the tomatoes from here, locally.
Where are they from again?
They're from the pharmacy. Over here downtown, okay?
Not like a street pharmacy. This is like the real deal.
Like the farm as in a farm where you go grow things. Anyway, so oh great, Megan's gonna put it in there. Great, thank you. So,
it's over across from Uten's.
Yes.
Uten's Realty?
Right. And so, really super cute
Portsmouth.
place. Yeah, super cute place. You should go check it out. Anyway.
Super cute. That's how I decide where I'm going to shop.
Exactly.
Super cute.
And support
Candy Pharmacy.
Oh, okay. I'm
Earth
sorry.
Candy Pharmacy.
Nice. I just ignore that front part.
We thank Earth Candy Pharmacy for the tomatoes today. Yeah, absolutely.
Mozzarella cheese.
And they are sweet.
They are so sweet.
They are so sweet.
Delish. And then the basil is from my garden personally. And then also we have these different oils. Now, Father, would you mind talking about this because you're the one.
Right, I'm a big fan. If you've ever been to Jungle Gyms, when you walk into Jungle Gyms, they have the Flying Olive. And these I tested personally.
All Vanna White.
All Vanna White, there you go. This is a white balsamic vinegar. It's cranberry pear. And then the olive oil we use today is blood orange infused, which it is so good. It's nice to have a citrus note when you're making a caprese salad. It's very good. Then we also use, this was a gift to me. This is from the Oilery in Columbus. This is from Grandview Avenue. This is a 20-year-old balsamic vinegar, which has then thickened up over the, because it's aged in a barrel, and it becomes thick. It becomes just like heaven. You could, it's so sweet almost. You could put it on ice cream. It makes ice cream, delicious vanilla ice cream with a little balsamic vinegar.
I'm gonna start feeding people.
So these oils, I like. They're bougie. Let's be honest. They're bougie
they
oils.
are so bougie.
They're bougie oils.
But they're so worth
but they're
it, guys.
so worth it. If you're gonna have a caprese salad like this, go out and do it, right?
Right.
If you're
Go
serving
for
this
it.
at a function, go out and do it. Let's make it happen.
Okay, so
Because
let's
I mean,
get you
obviously, there's nothing
set
wrong with
here.
the store bought. I mean, here's our
You're
our
welcome.
Kirkland member or whatever it is, Members Mark Extra Virgin Olive Oil. But if you're going to do something like this for a party, take it up the next level, right?
Right? Like,
This is
right.
a way to
And especially with a salad that's as simple as this, it
Yeah.
relies on quality ingredients. And so if you don't, if you're looking for a chance to splurge, this is your
yeah,
time.
exactly. This is hey, there's some music. I'm just checking to make sure if we have comments today. Again, welcome Father Patrick. Eat, drink, and be merry. Because tomorrow we die. No, that's not it. That's not right. That's not right. But certainly eat and drink and be merry here with us today. So there's a lot of folks welcoming you here today. So we are all certainly glad to have you. So we're not just going to eat this. We're going to pair it with a wine, right?
Yes.
We are pairing this with a Pinot Grigio. Again, we are trying 6 different wines today.
We have a lot to get through.
We have a lot to get through. And this is the recipient. It is a product of Italy. It's a Pinot Grigio and a little Grave, so it's a little dry, right? So we're going to just take a little sip here with our Pinot Grigio, and you can smell it. It's a beautiful color. It has nice legs, so more alcohol, right? Jason is our whatchamacallit. What do you call yourself?
I'm a sommelier.
Sommelier, right? Not
There we
from
go.
Somalia,
I was
but
like,
a
what's the word?
sommelier.
It's an S word.
Right, it's an
Hey.
S word. More legs, more alcohol, right?
Yeah. Which
So
that can never be a bad
that
idea.
can never be a bad idea.
That's
So
a
let's give that a smell. You can smell the oak. can smell the
Absolutely,
oak.
it's very.
Swish it around. Beautiful.
Ooh, it has a real tang of a finish.
It's very light.
Yeah.
Acidic with the tomato makes it acidic.
Mmm. So we have our resident wine expert here.
Mhm.
I don't know if y'all heard that.
He is a sommelier, so he is.
Okay.
He's the resident
So,
wine expert.
but basically he said the acid from the tomatoes pairs well with the acid.
Well, you can
from
come and
this.
join us in here. You don't have
Yeah.
to sit so far away. If we're going to
Yeah.
talk about wine, let's have our sommelier in here,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Wine. If you put the wine, tomato, and the cheese together,
Mm-hmm.
That's not half bad.
no.
Mm-hmm. So, oh, okay. Yeah, do you want, here, we'll just do one.
Get yourself a glass.
Just do one. There you go.
How are we doing on comments there?
Mm-hmm.
Father Patrick is a treat, says
Aw.
Rita Ugrin. Well, he knows how to taste wine, doesn't he?
I get my food.
This isn't the big gulp cup, but
Right?
maybe it is.
I mean, maybe it is.
Well, welcome to our table.
Right?
It's already a seminary.
Right, you know. Reveal all sorts of things.
What do you think?
I like it. It's dry.
Well, I can be a sommelier then if I say I can like it. That's great.
It's dry, but it's got that acidity that goes really well with the vinegar and the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because the tomatoes aren't terribly acidic at all.
No,
They're
No, they're
very
pretty
sweet.
It's pretty sweet. This
Yeah.
is a great balance.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
So do I.
Okay. So,
Is that the wine we're starting with? That's the wine we're starting with. Okay.
This is
Right.
good with salad.
Good with salad. What else could we pair that Pinot Grigio with?
It would be good with pork, but a light pork.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do it like with a barbecue or anything. Like
Sure.
And
that.
just,
I would do it with chicken
And you know what? You
celery.
can drink whatever wine you want anytime.
Mhm.
You can enjoy what you want when you like it.
right.
That's
And
why
so-
wine is wine.
Just so that way people get it again. So it's the recipient, Pinot Grigio, product of Italy. It's the 2018 Pinot Grigio.
Exactly.
So for anybody who's
Kroger.
interested.
K. Roger here. in Portsmouth, Ohio. Yeah, let's be honest, we could only get a limited amount of wines at the K. Roger here, so we got what Italian wines we could pick up.
You better believe it. Yes.
Right?
And
Exactly.
So,
Apparently
yeah.
he's not going to spend the rest of the
I
time
guess
with
he.
us.
I guess
I will.
Oh, he says he will. Oh, okay.
He will.
Great.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna clean my palate here.
So.
A little water, clean our palates in between.
And then let's take a look at your just.
Yeah, we have quite a spread
A
here
spread.
today, right?
Really
This is
There's
what a
so much.
charcuterie board looks like.
Yes.
It's a little bit of everything you've got in your cupboard, everything that you have in your refrigerator. You know, this started out this morning. We made the crostini this morning. I bought a nice fresh loaf of Italian bread from Kroger. It was actually pre-sliced. It was just easier for me that way. And we started out toasting the crostini this morning. And I like the crostini. This is nice. It's a nice thin piece. It's a nice cut. They do a nice job with that. And then I made a little garlic olive oil this morning to put on the crostini before I roasted it or toasted it in the oven. And so I took a nice olive oil. Again, you've got your Sam's Club, your Kirkland, your Maker's Mark, or your Maker's Mark, your Members Mark. You know what I'm thinking about right now, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I'm always thinking about Maker's Mark, Father. And Finbar's back there behind me. I just about smashed his paw there, but I went a little bougie and higher class with a little organic extra olive oil from Carapelli. This is classic. Casa Oleria, and it was actually just a little bit more expensive than the rest of the olive oils in the aisle. I liked it because it was great packaging, and I thought this looks old world to me. This looks old world to me.
He got seduced by the packaging.
Seduced by the packaging,
So.
like Adam and Eve in the garden.
There you go.
So anyway, there you go. So I took about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. And then put that on the stove, and then infuse the olive oil with the garlic oil. As you put it on the stove, the heat opens up the oils from the garlic, and made a very nice garlic olive oil to spread on there. Then we put it in the oven, baked it till it was toasted, pulled it out. So it creates a nice foundation to soak up all of the juices from everything else that we've got here. So
There's so many things.
there's so many things.
So many.
The other thing that I did this morning before we got to this afternoon was a roasted tomato. So I took some hothouse tomatoes. Right now, it's probably all you're going to get at Kroger. I don't know what they have available at the Earth Pharmacy, but obviously you've got the other tomatoes there. But I did get the tomatoes from the Kroger here this morning, and then roasted them down with the garlic that I was using in the oil. So I smashed the garlic on top of the tomatoes. Then a little pesto, a fresh pesto. I know, nice, and then a fresh rosemary. And that really just finished it off, right? So that makes a really nice topping for the crostini.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So
You can use all sorts of things. The nice thing about pesto is it's already got Parmesan, it's got the crushed pine nuts, it's got the olive oil. You know, it's a great topping for anything. So I like pesto because I've also used pesto in another piece of the charcuterie board. So anyway, if you go to Kroger right now, the Blue Diamond almonds, the gourmet almonds, they are on clearance. They're getting rid of these packages.
Guys,
These
go
are
get the
Spanish.
swanky- go
These
get
are
the
swanky bougie almonds.
Go get them.
Go get them. They've got them in truffle, and they have them in garlic, herb, and olive oil. So at Kroger here in town, they are getting rid of them. And then I took the pesto and smothered those almonds in the pesto. And I'm going to tell you what, it took them to the next level. I mean, these are top shelf. And then I just let them soak in it all afternoon, because the almond begins to pick up the oil, and it begins to pick up the flavor of the basil.
I mean,
it's
it's-
really top notch.
If you like basil, if you like pesto, you're gonna like this. You
Exactly.
know, it's just as simple as that.
It really is fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love these almonds, right? So the Spanish almond is a little bigger.
Mm.
It's a little meatier
Okay.
than an almond from California or
Really?
what have you. Yes.
Interesting.
So and they
Little
pick
tidbit.
right. They pick up the flavors so well of whatever you put them in. Sometimes just olive oil, salt, and pepper, and rosemary,
Mm.
and then you bake them in the oven. Fantastic. Didn't have time to do that, but this is a nice quick fix.
Yeah, I'm for it. Okay.
Dr. Andrews got some good one-liners on this.
Oh, is that
Oh,
right?
does she?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we lost it.
I lost it. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
go find it again.
Okay. Well, so while you go and find it, maybe we should talk about some of the wines that we have in mind.
Right,
for
preparing
our-
this.
Yes, for our charcuterie.
Right.
So, dear Jason,
Sommelier.
guidance. What do you think would be good to pair with our pesto concoctions that we've got here?
Well, we have another white. It's the Moscato here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a little bit sweeter,
Right.
so it's also good with dessert.
Right.
But I would stick with a white.
Okay.
With
With the tomato pesto
Mhm.
thingies.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
But we're gonna jump into the meats,
yeah.
Right,
Let's
so-
get into the meats.
Okay,
right?
so let's do
Because
that.
you're not gonna pair a white with the meats here, right?
Right.
Ooh, there just went a little.
So this is one that I haven't tried yet.
Uh-huh.
It's the Montepocello.
From the Abruzzi region. So the priest who baptized me and married my parents was from the Abruzzi region.
Oh, really?
Father
Really?
Romano Chatola.
Yeah.
He was from the Abruzzi region.
So I'm gonna take.
We have a special thing for you, sir.
There you go. If you're
Oh.
gonna be our sommelier, if you're gonna be our sommelier today,
Right.
there you
know,
go.
With your fancy
Best
white
I could
cloth,
find.
right? Well, yeah.
he's out of practice, folks, and that's a good thing.
Right. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey!
With a little piece of wood that made it. What'd you say? $10
$10 more.
$10 extra because there's a little piece from the Abruzzi region there. Or they probably picked it up in the parking lot
And
at
just
Kroger and
tied
just
it
got
on.
it there.
Call it a day. That's hilarious. Sounds about
Give
right
it a little
then.
try, and then I'll see what it pairs best with.
Ooh.
Well, actually, you don't just get to try it all by yourself. No way, Jose. Father Patrick is sitting over here
Yeah,
in
do-
the corner. Would you like to
Would you
try
like
this
some?
red one with us?
I think that's no harm.
I think it does no harm, he said.
All right.
Yes.
So this is very light.
Is it very light,
It's
huh?
light.
There you go.
And a lot of people have questions about why you air your reds, especially.
Why do you air your reds?
Well, tannins is the bitterness that you find from red wine. It's the stuff that sticks to the back of your tongue.
Mm.
And that, especially with like the Chianti, which we have here,
Mm.
that mixes well with oxygen. And when it mixes with oxygen, it takes
I
down
mix
the
well with
bitterness.
oxygen too.
Yeah. Takes down the bitterness, and it brings out the flavor.
Me
of the wine.
mixing with oxygen probably doesn't take down my bitterness.
So this-
But whatever.
No comment. Anyway, so.
How about your bitterness, Father? No, I'm just talking.
So this has a
Where
little
is the
bit.
sweetness?
It's a little dry. No, it's not
a
really
little
dry.
It's got a little bit of bitter to it.
A little bitterness.
So you want to air it out a little bit. And the Chianti, like here,
Mhm.
that has a lot of tannins in it. And so
Oh, okay.
Father,
We're going to actually,
Beautiful.
yes, I'm going to step in here,
yeah,
Okay.
and we're going to open the bottle up here, and
he's-
we're going to air this out, right? Because we have our little fancy gadgets from the Williams Sonoma.
He's so
Right?
excited about
I get to do this, and this is a Reserva Ducale, right? It's a Chianti
Oh, man.
Classico,
Oh
right?
man, I hope
The
no Italians
Reserva Ducale.
Italians, we're sorry.
Yeah, right. That would be a Ducale. That was a Ducale.
He's from London. It's
Yeah,
fine.
from London. Right, and so let's air it out, right? Let's start. We'll get a nice pour going, and then you can.
Look at that. How cool
Can
is
you
that?
hear the gurgle?
So what it's more or less doing is it's taking it through like a sieve, and that's letting air come into the wine, which is going to bind with the tannins and make the bitterness go down and the flavors of the wine come out.
Wow.
Look at this,
So-
guys. We're educational.
So the higher the tannin level, the more you want to air your wine. So if you don't have a fancy aerator, and you're having a party and you think that it has a lot of tannins in it, you'll want to open it at least 10 minutes before serving it.
I can smell
Even
the
up to an
tannins.
hour. Yeah.
Look at that.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, look at
Let me
that.
finish this. This is something.
And another good way to clean your palate that a lot of people don't know about
Mhm.
is to smell coffee.
Right.
If you smell ground coffee, that will clean your palate. Surprise, surprise.
Interesting.
Surprise,
Interesting.
surprise.
Learning all sorts of things.
I'm going to take a little water, clear out my glass.
Goodness.
Jason, someone wants to know if at seminary do you get wine classes or
No,
it's
this
just
was
life
this was the life experience. I worked for a restaurant chain called Eddie Merlot, and Eddie Merlot paid for me to go to culinary
wow.
class. So
There
they
we
paid for
go.
the course. The first level is it was about 4 days, if I think, in the middle of January in Fort Wayne, Indiana, of all places, and more or less the restaurant paid for the professional sommelier to come in and teach us. And it was 4 days of 3 reds, 3 whites, and by the end of it, you would be able to pick up a wine, taste it, be able to tell where it was from, and like if it was a Chianti or a Old World or New World is a very
Yes.
different thing.
Yeah, it's amazing because they put the label right on there.
Right, but you don't get to see the label. You don't get to see the label.
You knew
Everybody's done.
you knew that was coming.
You knew it was coming.
You knew that.
All right.
So-
So we're pairing the reds with the meat that we have on our charcuterie boards here, right? And so what do we have on our board here today, along with the roasted tomato, along with the cheeses? We'll get to the cheeses next. But because we're doing the red, we want to hit the meats, right? So we have a salami calabrese, a salami Milano, an old world sopressata, and it's on this board here. So it's a little bigger cut, and we'll just set that guy right there.
I was gonna say,
It's beautiful.
Take people out with the
Yeah,
knife.
right, exactly. We have a mortadella, which is an Italian kind of bologna, and it's got wonderful pistachios into the mix when they form it. So it really has a nice flavor. We have a Coppa Italiana, which is it is a dried pork shoulder, and it's a very vibrant red. It's a beautiful color. It's got full of fat, full of flavor, all those good things that you like. And then also, when you think Italian charcuterie board, we also have prosciutto. So that,
I mean,
and
each
this
we have a
is,
spread.
and I'm really excited because these are all things that are coming into our Kroger here locally.
I mean-
we have a whole section
Yes.
of these Italian meats and cheeses. So that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good,
That's
actually.
pretty impressive.
Yeah. I'm pleased.
Exactly. So we
Yeah.
got wonderful meats, and you know, as they warm up in your kitchen, the flavor, the fat begins to melt as you know, you taste it in your mouth, and it just really melts. The fat and the meat come together in a very beautiful way and gives you a nice flavor
Right.
as you put it onto your tongue, and especially in this warm weather, I like the heat added to the heat of the air, and the fat and the flavor, because the full flavor of the meat just comes right out, right? I mean, it's just so wonderful. Now we're pairing these meats with some different cheeses as well. We've got a Romano, we have a Parmigiano, we have a Fontina, which is a little softer white, and then we have 2 Parmesans that are covered. One that has been aged in a bourbon barrel, and the other one has been aged with Merlot in the Rhine, and they're both fantastic. They're so good. Then also the charcuterie board has a few figs, but then also dates that have been rolled in cocoa and pecan. So I like. I mean, when you think red wine, I also think chocolate, right? I think chocolate. I think the 2 flavors open each other up. The chocolate helps open up the flavors of the wine. Just like when you're drinking a fine bourbon, you know, the different flavors of what you're eating open up different flavors in the bourbon, in the wine as well. So with the fruits, with the dried fruits, with the dates and the cocoa, I think it will really change some of the flavor of the wines as we're consuming them this afternoon, as we're trying them. So let's get to it, right?
Yeah, right. Let's do this.
There is one more.
Father says, "Let's get to it." I heard
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So
Sure.
let's proposal.
Yeah.
Because I know that there are people here who would like to try like the meat and cheeses. So maybe could we discuss those other wines and maybe taste those, and then let people mill about, get meat and cheeses.
Right.
And Father Patrick can chat.
But she's on a piano.
Yeah. Can you tell I talk with my hands a lot, everybody? You know.
She
can
might
you
be
tell?
Italian.
I might be
Or
Italian.
she might be from Adams County.
Oh.
Those are the two distinctions.
And there we are. Yeah. What can I say?
So what do we got here? We've got a Stella Rosa.
Right.
This is a Stella Rosa Black. Never had it before. You'll open up and you can, oh my. Stella Rosa, they use a low alcohol grape wine. And it's a little different. That's you want to smell that, sommelier.
Smells.
Look how bright that is. Oh, look at that.
It looks like grape juice.
There is carbonation in there.
Carbonation.
Like a.
You want
No,
some?
I just want to smell it.
Mmm.
It really does
Very,
smell
very fruity.
like grape juice.
Very
It really does.
It's a low alcohol grape juice that they use.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say fancy label grape juice.
It's very, very sweet and fruity, and
Oh, I like this.
it's
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
light.
It's very light. You can tell that there's not the alcohol content is very low.
Yep.
It's
Good with cheese.
Yes, this
But
would be
mild
very good.
cheese.
Mild cheese. This wine and the Merlot Parmesan. Yes.
Cool.
Wow, you could drink a lot of that real quick. Real quick. Fantastic.
Cool.
But again, I really don't know Stella Rosa. We used Stella Rosa actually when we were we made something a couple weeks ago. We used a Stella Rosa. It'll come to me. Sangria. We used it in a sangria.
Oh,
We used it in a sangria.
we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We
That was
used
a
the
long
white-
time ago.
It was.
It was a long
So let's
time
open
ago.
the other one.
Yeah.
Well, the other one's a Stella Rosa.
Well, open it up so we can try it.
Yeah.
I'm not just
Wanna
going to
give a-
sit here, right? I don't want to.
Give the glasses a rinse. No?
Why? Now there's a little carbonation in this one too.
You
Again.
don't know to taste it?
Not at the moment.
Ooh. Yes, this is a little less fruity than the black. It's
Smells
less sweet.
similar.
It smells similar.
It does.
But-
Very much so.
It's not
Less
as sweet.
Yeah, less sweet.
It's less sweet.
But it's got more fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the kick on the back of the tongue.
Yep, it does. Magnificent.
Cool.
Those are.
Very light, very sweet. Good dessert wine.
Mhm.
Go well with dessert. Go with
Right.
light cheeses, white cheeses. Always remember, the stronger the food, the stronger the wine. So
Right.
if you have a strong flavored food, you want a stronger flavored wine. It'll
Point
itself
taken.
out.
What's that?
Point taken.
Point taken.
There we
Father
go.
Patrick's learning
He
over
said-
here.
Yeah.
And then after we try this Chianti, then we'll invite people in, and we're going to let Father Patrick maybe talk a little bit about his history,
Sure.
where he comes from, maybe a little bit about his vocation, huh, Father?
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Or maybe you need another glass of wine first. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
So let's do this. So here, whoop, there goes the fin bar.
I'm gonna go get
He'll
it.
run you over. I got my little partner with him today. Fin bar, how about you go back over here? There you go.
I am a big fan of Chianti.
Okay,
I
so it's
am-
not one of my favorites.
I am a big fan of old world wines. A good way to distinguish an old world wine is it's going to have more of an earthy,
This is very earthy.
mushroom And the
Nothing
reason-
like eating a moldy board.
I like that.
It is, yeah.
You gotta taste the tobacco in that.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can taste the tobacco, black pepper maybe.
Mm.
Oh,
So
this would be a good cigar wine.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a little later.
Of course. Of course.
That'll be a little later.
Cool.
That's
Father Patrick, what
fantastic.
wine would you like to try?
Yeah.
Let me pour you a glass.
He's got a glass. I'll get his glass here.
Yeah.
What would you like?
The red one.
A red one.
Oh, red
We'll get
one.
in, yeah, we'll get
Okay, we can do that.
in. Exactly.
And while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull dessert.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And so, Father Patrick, while we've got some time here, I'm going to check to see if there's any questions for you at the moment. Doesn't particularly look like it, but we all know about Father Joe's hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time? Damn.
I like reading.
Like reading?
I like walking around. Some sports.
Mm-hmm. What are your favorite sports? I think I can answer that already, but go ahead.
I love soccer.
Mhm.
That's number one.
Number one.
Secondly, I like basketball.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
And I've started learning about the football.
Ah, the American football, yes.
Because I also like wrestling. So they go together. I love wrestling.
Ah, I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you belong to a religious community. You're not particularly a priest of the Diocese of Columbus. Let's talk maybe a little bit about your religious community and what the Apostles of Jesus are all about.
Right. Yeah, the Apostles of Jesus is an institute which was started some 50 years ago, 1968, back in Uganda. And the main charism of the Apostles of Jesus is we are called to be good shepherds. And in our apostolate, we endeavor to show that compassionate love and care of the good shepherd to the flock, so to say, to the people who are entrusted to us to minister to. That is specifically what we would call the charism of the Apostles of Jesus.
Right, so that brings you to all different kind of ministries then. So what are some of the ministries of the apostolate of the Apostles of Jesus?
The different ministries that we are involved in, actually they are all around. I would say that all ministries that rise to one, but specifically we help work in the hospitals, we work in educational institutions, in schools. But our main one is primary evangelization. Primary evangelization to places where the gospel has not yet been preached, and to missions where the gospel has been preached, but then it has not yet brought to completion, so to say.
Okay.
And particularly in areas where there may be lack of personnel ministers of the word, so we go there to like fill in and help support the promotion and expansion of the kingdom of God here on earth.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Certainly, we have we're finding ourselves in our diocese, particularly right now, with a personnel crunch, right? When it comes to priests. So communities like the Apostles of Jesus can come into our diocese and to begin to fill a need because really when you look at it, so many parts even of our diocese are very missionary oriented, right? Especially as we begin experiencing closures in our parishes like we're experiencing here in Scioto County. So you bring with you a great ability, a great apostolate from your community that will fit right into everything that we're doing right here in Scioto County. I think Bishop and I talked about that a lot and thought that would be a great opportunity for mission work right here in Scioto County. Yeah, it's beautiful. So how about maybe a little bit about your own vocation? Where were you inspired to become a priest? What inspired you even to the Apostles of Jesus?
Great. Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's why I do what I do.
I would ask you, what are you doing here as a priest?
Yeah, right. What are you doing here as a priest?
You would be a very good journalist.
Love it.
Yeah, Yeah, there is nothing very, I would say, very unique about my calling. Of course, there are some people who are called, maybe in prayer in a very special way. But what sparked my vocation or my calling to the priesthood was the missionary priest who was working in my parish.
Mm.
He came from Ireland. And
From Ireland?
Yes.
Really?
And that's why I have the name of Patrick.
Oh, it all comes together.
That tells
It
you
all
the
comes
story.
together. Oh, okay.
And that is why I love those who have a connection to Ireland.
Ah.
I do.
Yeah.
I call myself the Irish from Africa.
The Irish from Africa. I love
I love this. That is amazing.
it. Another
There you
pilgrimage,
go.
Father. We're
Ready,
going to
set, go.
Ireland.
Ready, set, go.
Last May
Right.
we went to Ireland. We'll go back again.
Yeah, there
Right.
you go.
Don't forget
So
to
this
share.
priest, in his mission in my parish, he was our pastor. He used to take a very good care of the Christians, and particularly what I observed is his interest in helping the children who actually were disadvantaged in terms of not being able to go to school, but they are interested. And I happen to be one of those kids. Actually, I'm the only one in my family who went beyond grade school,
Wow.
Wow.
university, and so on.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then I told myself, or I posed the question to myself, if this man from that far can take care of even people who are not related to him at all, this much, me here is picking me from nowhere and he wants to take care of me in terms of education because he sees I'm interested and I would like to learn and read. Just came to my thought, I think one day I will become a priest. I didn't know what it involved.
Sure.
And you never
So
knew
I
you'd
do.
leave Uganda to
Yeah,
come
right.
to the United
No.
States.
Right.
So, group, I finished grade school, went to high school, but still the thought was still in me. And I went to him, he was still a pastor there. He was there for a good number of years. Told him, Father, I want to go to the seminary. So, seriously, why do you want to go to the seminary? Remain here, get married, go to school and help your family and so on. Well, no, I want to be a priest and I want to be a missionary, to go out and help people
That's beautiful.
and support people.
That's
Told
so
him, will you manage? So I'll try with the grace of God. And I went to the seminary. Of course, I went to discover that it was more than just helping these small boys. I discovered that there was more demand and more calling. But with the learning and knowing about the priesthood, I loved it even more. That's how was my calling.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Finbar agrees. Did you
Yeah,
hear?
we
He
got-
barked for you.
Yeah,
approval?
yeah, you got approval. There you go.
You got approval.
That's funny.
Isn't that
I love it.
beautiful?
I like it. I like it. Yeah. And so you mentioned that you have family.
Yes.
How many siblings do you have? Or
I have three brothers
okay,
and one sister.
wonderful, wonderful. Are they?
And I'm the baby.
And you're
You're
the baby.
Oh, all right.
That's why you see I demand for a lot of care.
That's hilarious. I love it. Oh my goodness.
That's
I love
beautiful.
It. I love it. So, well, cool. Well, cool. So, now, are you the only one in your family that then decided that religious life is the way to go? Or is there any other religious sisters in your family, or priests in your family?
Yeah, I have a niece who is a religious sister
Wonderful.
now coming after me.
Oh wow, isn't
Wonderful.
that beautiful?
How cool.
Yes.
How cool.
Good.
That's
Well, we
awesome.
can sign them up here next.
Yeah, ready, set,
Yeah,
go.
we'll bring them in here next, right?
That sounds
Gee,
good.
Sounds good.
That
Jesus works in mysterious
Sounds
ways,
good.
right?
I love it. I
That's
love it.
fantastic.
That's awesome.
And then before coming to Scioto County last summer, again, you filled in here in the parishes while I was at Costa Rica.
Right.
And you were here for about 10 weeks almost. And then, but before coming here, where did you serve before coming? Because you've been in the country here, what, 10 or 11 years?
It is now 10 years.
10 years?
I came in 2010.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, before I came to the US, Actually, the first time to work in the parish was here in the U.S.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, after my ordination in 1993, July 3rd, I was involved in education.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
In schools.
Well, we have
In
two
the
great
seven-
schools for you to
in
get involved
There
with
you
here,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the seminaries, junior seminaries and the major
Mhm.
seminary. And
Wow.
after that, I went back for my master's in education. Then I was sent back to be a principal in one of the colleges that we ran back in Uganda.
Wonderful.
And then after like 7 years in that college, I was asked, Father, they're asking for somebody to go in the U.S., but the Spirit has identified someone whom they can send to new missions, like outside the country. So I was asked to come to the U.S.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to the country. So my first mission was in the Diocese of Little Rock in
Okay.
Arkansas.
In Arkansas.
Wow, Arkansas.
Oh, that's
Wow.
not too different from Scioto County.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's always in the south.
A lot of bass fishing, a lot of
Yes.
deer hunting.
A lot of
We can
hunting.
do it all here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's lovely. I served as an associate in Our Lady of Holy Souls
Mhm.
for 1 year, and then the bishop asked me to go to be a Sacramento administrator in another parish, in Charleston, Arkansas,
Mhm.
where I served as a Sacramento administrator for 1 year. Then the following year, I was made a pastor of that very church.
Wow.
Then I served there for 8 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, as a pastor. Then
And then-
is when the order asked me to come
Mhm.
and join Father Milton Kiocha in this
Right.
diocese, who had come in this diocese,
Yeah.
so that we would form a community, at least
Sure,
of two
exactly.
of us,
Right.
as we wait to get the third one to make
Right,
There
so
you
that's
go.
very nice is that wherever you and Father Milton are not supposed to be more than probably an hour away from each other.
Right,
So,
right.
and what's nice being here then in Wheelersburg and Scioto County, where you're going to be living in Wheelersburg, we're also close to another apostle of Jesus in Louisville.
Right.
Right, and so this will be a nice meeting, an area for all of you to be able to meet and come together.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. So we're becoming an epicenter for the apostles of Jesus.
There we go.
Right in Scioto County. So
Look at us.
so that will be an epicenter for evangelization and the gospel being preached right here in Scioto County. So I'm waiting for the tsunami. I'm waiting for the tsunami to hit.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I love it.
I love
The
it.
tsunami of the Holy Spirit is going
There
to
we
pound
go.
us.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting because as I came in the diocese, and then I was asked those first few days to come over here to fill in for Father Joe when he was going for Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, those the weeks I was here were really lovely. And that's why I was excited when they told me you are going back. So what?
All right.
You're going back there? Oh yes, I'm ready.
That's
Very
because
exciting. Very
we
exciting.
have things that Father
Very
Patrick liked. We
exciting.
have
Very
the
exciting.
River
Right.
and margaritas from Toro Loco.
It's as if I was River is great.
Right, right.
What is that new one?
We went to Ollie's last night.
This is nice.
Oh, yeah, you like that one, right?
We're doing a grand tour of all the restaurants in Scioto County just to awaken his taste buds again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm reconnected fully.
I love it. I love it.
That is so fantastic.
Wow, wow. That's great. Well, and thank you so much for sharing all of that with us, Father Patrick.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's lovely to have you. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Thank you.
There's a lot of challenges ahead of us, but obviously God thinks that we can handle it. So we got a great team. As I'm beginning to know our new parishioners from the West Side, thank you for beginning to register. Thank you for all of those opportunities, because you're going to provide us with a new opportunity for ministry, a new opportunity for us to be able to learn how to be fathers and learn how to be missionaries in our society, in our county. And we want you to know that you are a big part of our family. Don't feel as if you're the redheaded stepchild of the West Side, right? You are a major part of our family here in Scioto County, right? So we are we are looking forward to incorporating you into all of the good things that we are about here in Scioto Catholic, right? Because you're going to teach us also a lot about what the West Side culture is about as well, because you have a lot to add to this new family of Scioto Catholic. And we look forward to learning about pig roasts and all of the good things that you have going on out there. And we know that we'll bring a lot to you. And there'll be a lot that we can explore together. Because when we look at our, what is it again, Megan? It's encounter, grow, and witness, right? Encounter, grow, and witness. Those three parts of our mission here at Scioto Catholic, and we're excited to share that with you, and maybe share a little wine, maybe share a little moonshine, maybe share some of our charcuterie board. So we have a lot to learn from each other.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to this new venture that God has called us to. Because it's certainly a work of the Holy Spirit. Let's face it, we wouldn't have chosen this on our own. This is truly a work of the Holy Spirit, and He's bringing us together for this new Pentecost, as I'm calling it. It really is a new awakening, a new sharing. Wow, there we go.
There we go.
When you can become very profound when you begin to sip a little bit of the red stuff, right?
I do have one question we have to get an answer
Yes.
to. So Dr. Angie would like to know when you're going to come adopt a dog or a cat at Sierra Haven.
That's hilarious,
That's
Dr. Angie.
hilarious.
Dr. Angie, I know, is doing 20 surgeries today, and we'll be
But
taking
yet still
Finbar a little
watching.
later. Right, and yet still watching.
That is
One
hilarious.
hand on the patient, the other on the YouTubes. So,
That's hilarious. I love
Shall I
it.
talk about it?
Oh,
so we'll talk about it later, Dr. Angie.
I love it. I love
Right,
it.
exactly.
So-
Hey, way down in the future. Well, there's still part of our afternoon left together because we've been chomping on all of these savory bits here in front of us, but there's still one part of this that we haven't got to yet, and I'm excited because it also includes a couple more wines. So
There you go.
down the hatch.
There you go. So our last thing, food-wise here, is a tiramisu. And
What was that? Tiramisu?
a tiramisu. A tiramisu. Exactly. And guys, as per usual, I didn't really follow recipes.
Surprise!
I know. It's a shocker. I have these two here, and I can have Megan throw them in the comments section. But basically, I took these two and basically kind of combined them and made my own, essentially. And so I'll talk you through a little bit, and then I'll give these papers to Megan, and she can.
Should we have our Somalian back in so we can
sure,
try the next
absolutely,
wine?
Absolutely.
A wine pairing?
Okay.
Sommelier.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Finbar is here and he is excited.
Yeah.
You can say hi to everybody.
Hi,
There's
Finn.
Finn.
Hey, Finn.
He's excited because there's little drops on the floor. And, oh, please.
Sorry.
Yes, I know.
Oh, there's
I
his
see you.
pig.
I
There's
see
his
you.
pig. He loves
He's
to find, he's got to find his
He's
pig.
excited.
He's going to take it out there to Seminary in David. Or not.
Or not. Like, rejected. Anyway.
Rejected. All right, sommelier.
All right, so we already tried the Stella Rosa.
Yes, we did.
Sweet, fruity, very good with dessert. If you have a sweet food, you want a sweet wine. And then
Or just a sweet personality.
yeah.
So they call me. Anyway.
And then the other one that we're going to try is the Barton
Come on, sommelier. How many glasses of wine have you had this afternoon?
Bartentura, product of Italy. It's a Moscato. So like we were making, what day were we using? Making the
Give me more than that.
I don't know. More than
the
that.
ones with the orange juice, the breakfast ones.
Oh,
Mimosas.
They were using
I wasn't
Moscato.
there at all. I was trying,
Yeah,
but I wasn't there at all.
Wine
There
for
we go.
breakfast.
I'm sorry?
Wine for breakfast.
Yeah.
Wines for
there's a
breakfast.
cocktail.
Yes,
Yeah,
Father,
wine
wine for breakfast.
Yeah. How do
You're
you-
going to love serving here in
Exactly.
Cider
I
County.
love it. It's gonna be great.
Little bit of carbonation in this one also.
A little bit. There is.
And typically Moscatos
Bubbly.
will be on the sweeter side.
Mmm.
The one was kind of was on the dry.
Ooh, this is sweet. Very sweet. Woo! It kind of hits your jaw. It hits my jaw right here. Very sweet.
Yeah.
It's very sweet. So
Is it now?
it
Is
is.
it now?
Wowzers.
I like this one. It's fizzy. It's
Teresa
sweet.
Messler, if you were here,
Yeah.
you would like this one.
Yeah.
Because you're a sweet white wine drinker.
Yeah, you would like this.
Now a lot of people think that if you have a sweet food, you wouldn't want a sweet wine to go with it, and the opposite is true. You actually do want it.
Well,
They
because-
pair very well.
Right. Well, because in my experience, I've tried that before, and the wine tasted like crap. like,
Oh,
like
right.
you know what I mean? Like when you pair a non-sweet wine with a dessert, the wine ends up tasting like no.
Okay.
You know what I
And
mean? It
that's
doesn't
also
taste
the
right.
problem you have
Makes
if you have a
sense.
strong wine with a softer food, a milder food,
Mm.
the wine will overpower.
Right.
Okay.
And if you have a really strong food with a really light wine,
Mhm.
you won't get anything from the wine.
Right.
So
Mm.
they have
We're
to.
learning so much.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Look at us. Educational.
Yeah.
Or, well, you know,
Better
something like that anyway.
Something like
something
that.
like that. I don't know. It sounds really good.
I think that's it for all the wines, right?
I think
Mhm.
so. I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit down and eat some more charcuterie.
All right.
Good, good, good.
All right.
So let's hit this tiramisu.
Yeah. So let's chat about it. So tiramisu. It is layers of sponge finger cookies. You can go find them in the cookie aisle. They are there at Kroger. You soak them in coffee and liqueurs. I chose to soak them in a coffee liqueur, some white rum, and some Grand Marnier, which will give a bit of an orange essence to it. Soak those, and you then layer it with a mixture of a creme anglaise, which is eggs and dairy and sugar cooked over the stovetop, and then
And whipped.
and
stirred.
and stirred. And so I can't.
That's our
I'm one of
emoji for
those-
the day.
And
Stirred.
I'm one of those that like if you try to like tie my hand, I can't talk. I'm one of those. You know what I mean? Like you
So
try to
there's
like
one
sit-
hand on the
yes.
organ and the other one
hand's
directing.
on- right, the other hand going. No. Anyway, so you have a creme anglaise with whipped cream and also mascarpone cheese. And now, if you talk to traditionalists about tiramisu, you're supposed to use the reserved egg whites as part of your mixture. I wasn't comfortable with that because I wasn't using farm eggs. I was using like just kind of Kroger eggs. So for my comfort level, that's not how I roll, but you could do that. Mix that all together until it's this fluffy mixture with, and again, I added more liqueurs because, you know, why not? And
You could have used all those egg whites because of all the booze you put in there. It would have killed whatever was in it.
That's true, I guess. But, and then I decided, because you're supposed to typically do this in like a 9x13, okay? But I was like, you know, why do that? This is prettier. So I decided, Mary Beth Odell, thank you again for the use of your trifle dish. It will be returned to you someday.
Someday, probably
It
after
will come
COVID's
back.
over in 20 years.
It will come back to you. And so, but I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's layers of that cookie and then that cream mixture. And then on the top, I topped it with the cocoa powder, which is the Dutch processed
Dutch processed, yes.
cocoa powder.
It
And
removes
so-
the alkalinity. It removes the bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it, it's just a nice chocolatey touch. So anyway, so that, you let that sit overnight. They've already taste tested it a little
We
bit.
taste tested it earlier at lunchtime.
You know, just I have a little extra dish. You know how you end up usually with extra, you
My
know.
buddy.
And so, so they got to taste test it already. But now I have this huge thing of tiramisu, guys. But that's how you make it.
That's magnificent.
Yeah, and they liked it. I mean, there's enough booze
Right,
in
and it really needed to sit because we tasted it last night.
Yeah.
As
Megan.
Jordan was making it yesterday afternoon before it went into the cooler. And it really did need to set up because the lady fingers needed to soak Also, the booze needed to come from the ladyfinger and get into the creme anglaise that is in there.
Yes.
It
It needed the time.
needs the time.
Yeah.
So,
And so-
you really need 24 hours for this dish.
Right.
Don't just make it and serve it. You
Right,
really need the
right.
time to let it soak.
And so here I was cooking away yesterday, and getting it all ready, and working away.
Whisking away. Whisking away.
So in Margaritaville. But anyway, there we go. There's a.
Let's check here. Do we have any more questions or any comments, Megan, for us today?
Billy Sherman wants to know if Father Patrick could have a show. What would he do?
Oh, if you had a show, what kind of show would you have, Father?
On Scioto Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't think of it. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Oh, he likes it.
Oh, he likes it.
He
We're going to
likes
be doing it,
All
right?
right.
Mikey likes it.
Yeah. Wow.
I love it.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So we'll have to ponder that.
We'll have to
Yeah,
find out. We're going to put his
Yes.
missionary Apostles of Jesus hat on, and we're going to think of something for Father
Yeah,
Patrick.
that'll be good. That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So.
What
is there
did we do?
anything else?
Did we
Yeah.
make it?
I think we did.
Where's that? Where is the wine at? Where did it go?
What do you mean?
Probably
it's right over here.
Jason is probably smothering it. There used to be a lot more in there. That is quite amazing. Look at that.
Look at
There's
that.
4 of us over
There's
here.
4 of us. That's what they all say.
Right. So.
Well, I guess this has been another episode from our Father's Kitchen here with Father Patrick. You're going to get to know him. You're going to get to see him. And what a great opportunity it is for Scioto Catholic to have him. And we look forward to working with him.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
he loves it. He loves it already.
I do.
Yes.
Wonderful. We've sold him already.
Yes. Yes.
Day 2.
Day 2.
Day 2. Woohoo.
It's actually just 24 hours. Well, very good. Well, I guess until next week. Now, let's not forget. I don't know how many tickets are left, but make sure you're calling for tickets for the weekend. At this point, we're not going to enforce tickets on the west side for another week yet, because this will be your first weekend with me and Father Patrick. So we are lessening our restrictions on that, but be prepared. We are going to enforce the restrictions for COVID-19 as the diocese has set them out. And I know that's going to be a change for the west side, but be prepared for that. Also, the bishop, masks are so important. Masks are required.
Yes.
And that will be on the door. If you're not wearing a mask when you come, you will be handed a mask at the door on the weekend at noon.
Yes.
Also, Bishop Brennan is joining us next week. We will have another full spread, and Father Patrick and all of us will be here as we prepare for the town hall meeting, which is going to take place next Wednesday at 6:30 at Notre Dame High School. And if there's any change to that, we'll let you know. We'll send out a one call reminding everyone. All of the parishioners of Scioto Catholic are on the one call now from the west side. If you didn't get a one call from us earlier in this week, please let us know, because there were about 58 numbers that came back to us as numbers that were bad. So we want to make sure we're getting to you. So please call us. Everyone on the parish list were called, but 58 of you have bad numbers listed on the parish registry. So if you didn't get a one call from us and you're on today, please make sure you call us. I'll remind everybody again on Sunday at Holy Trinity for the first time.
And maybe for those of you who are watching, if you know any West Side parishioners who maybe needs to see this video or needs to see that little bit of information, please send it their way, so that way
share
they
it out
can-
there, get it out there.
please. So that way we want to get a hold of everybody.
Yep, absolutely. Well, God bless you. Until we see you again, bon appetit from our Father's Kitchen.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.